You will not grow massive arms by obsessing which exercises are the best, how to angle the cable, or how many reps to do, because all you need is just 2 movement patterns. And I call them movement patterns and not exercises for a reason. And once you understand why, growing massive arms is so simple, it feels illegal. And the reason I call them movement patterns is because the bicep and the tricep only have one job. My personal favorite exercises are a Bayesian curl for biceps and a cable overhead extension for tricep. But watch this. Any dumbbell curl, cable curl, or even a chin-up, they all train the biceps the exact same way, by bending the arm. And an overhead extension, tricep pushdown, or dips straighten the arm, which trains the triceps. It genuinely doesn't matter which arm exercises you pick, they're all the same movement. So if the exercises don't matter, then what does? The most common questions I get as a coach are, which exercises is the best for arms? Should I do compound or isolation exercises? Or what is the optimal angle for the bench or a cable? And these feel like important questions, but there's a problem. Think of your arm training, or growing muscle in general, like this triangle. The bottom part are the handful of things you can do, and it is those things that will drive 80% of your muscle growth. And as you go higher up the triangle, the impact gets smaller and smaller until you're at the very top, where the gains are marginal at best. And every question that I just mentioned, they all sit here at the top of that triangle. You're spending your time and energy optimizing things that make almost no difference, when the bottom of the triangle, the stuff that actually causes your muscles to grow, get ignored. Which brings us to the only question that actually matters. What sits at the bottom of the triangle? I had a client who'd been training for 20 years, and he came to me because he was frustrated. He didn't look like he'd been training all those years. And the first thing I always do with every new client is to look at the quality of their training. So he sent me his training videos, and within seconds I saw the problem. He was doing a set of tricep extensions, and his last rep looked exactly the same as the first. He was just moving the weight from point A to B, but not actually challenging the muscle. So I just told him, don't stop until you're grinding out your last reps. And those last few reps, where you're giving it your all, that's what makes your muscle grow. A few months later, he entered an online bodybuilding photo contest, putting photos of himself online to be judged by strangers. Now, if that doesn't scream confidence, I don't know what does. The reason he wasn't growing was never which exercise he was doing, his technique, or his consistency. It was the intensity of his training. So to grow massive arms, pick any bicep or tricep exercise that you have equipment for, that you enjoy doing, and you can get stronger at. And the most important part, take each set close to failure and keep doing this over and over. Because consistency and intensity are the 2 things that matter more than any other question you can ask yourself. That's the 20% that gets you massive arms. The other 80% is just noise. And this philosophy is exactly how I help guys build muscle faster without spending more time in the gym. So watch this video next, and I'll break down my iron method so you can use it to grow muscle so fast it's almost illegal.